Welcome to Wiki Bearings, where we dive into the worlds of engineering excellence, from the automotive marvels to the industrial giants. Join us to explore the wonders that keeps the world in motion. My name is Hassanein Alwan, and I'm your host. So welcome to another episode of Wiki Bearing. In today's episode, we're going to discuss gearboxes. Of course, we are talking about industrial gearboxes because we have a very special guest with us. Cristian Fiorani is the sales manager or export sales manager for Varvel Gearboxes. And he came all the way from Italy to talk with us about gearboxes. Cristian, we are very happy to see you. We are glad that you accepted our invitation to join the podcast.
Thank you so much for your invitation. And let me say one more thing. Thank you so much also for establishing our business cooperation.
We are pleasure to have you here. Our cooperation is new, but we are very optimistic that we will do something good in the coming years. Now, a lot of our audience are engineers, people from the industrial segment, the automotive segment, and all the segments around power transmission engineering. And let us start with, what is a gearbox?
Yeah. So gearbox, in the simple words, is a mechanical component which is able to transfer the power comes from electric motors to the application side, let me say. So it's usually located between the motors and the application, and thanks to the different ratio, he can move some part of the application. Mainly consists in few important components. Housing, let me say gears inside, of course.
Obviously.
Bearings, oil seals, shafts. So this is in the simple word a gearbox.
Yeah. Now, let's still in the wider. So why do we use a gearbox?
Why you need the gearbox? It's needed to move any part of the industrial machines. So this is the main needs of the gearbox. So when you need to move any part of the machines, is moved by electric motor assembled with the gearbox together in the application machines.
To get the right motion or the right speed of the out.
Yes, based on the machine requirement or on the application requirement. Yes.
Okay, so if we look at gearboxes, what are the typical industry for gearboxes? So
we are involved mainly in the industrial sectors, many sectors. Ceramics, pharmaceutical, textile, food and beverage, packaging. But mainly you can find in all of these kind of sectors or company or plants, you can find the gearbox mainly in the conveyor system when they need to move the products from the lines, from the automatic lines. We are talking about belt conveyors, chain conveyors, yeah. Or in other kind of machine like packaging machine, wrapping machines, waste machines. So this kind of application, but also many others. So, but mainly in industrial application, of course.
Now, when we look at the gearbox, I mean, lots of people will have in mind, they think about the car and the automotive gearbox. So this is also a gearbox, right? And so, like
common word, but different,
usage. So tell us, what is the difference?
But it's very simple. I mean, as I told you before, the gearbox is involved in industrial application. The name should be the same, but the application is different. Anyway, so the gearbox for industrial application is used to move the power and the torque from the electric motor to the application. When we are talking about the gearbox involved for automotive, it means that the gearbox is suitable to transfer the power and the torque from the vehicle, from the engine to the wheels. So, and also the design, of course, the external design is different.
So for sure, I think in terms of as a gearbox purpose is similar. You're moving from the engine to the output, and then a machine.
Basically, yes. Yeah. Basically, yes.
In a machine, you're doing maybe from electrical motor to conveyor belt. In a car, it's maybe from the engine to the tires.
To the tires, to the wheels. Yes, correct. Yes. Correct.
So, so again, in this episode, we're gonna focus more on the industrial gearbox.
Yes.
So, I know that when it comes to gearboxes, we think industrial gearboxes, and we think they all do the same thing. But I think there are many different types of gearboxes. So can you tell us what is the most common types of gearboxes?
Yeah. So you are right. I mean, there are many type of gearbox and many type of gears inside in the gearbox. So let me say the common one, which is covering in based on my experience, 60% of the market in the global world is the worm type. So worm type of the gearbox is the common one. But there is in the market also other kind of gearbox like helical gearbox with different housing and different design, helical gearbox and planetary gearbox. So these are the main types of the gearbox produced and sold in the global worldwide market and business.
Now, if we look at these 4 types of gearboxes, can you give us a little bit an idea about each gearbox? What does it do and what is it for? Maybe the advantages or disadvantages. Let's start with the worm gearbox.
So the worm gearbox is the common one because is simple. Simple, it means produced in a few components and suitable for any mounting position, since the housing is very modular. Yes, more compact, mainly used for the light and medium duty cycles. So this is the main reason why most of the machines they choose for the worm type. Efficiency and also lifetime is another benefit of this kind of gearbox. When we are talking about others, we are talking about a different kind of technology inside, because we are talking about helical instead of worm, which is worm is made only by 2 main components, worm shaft and worm wheel. When we are talking about helical and helical, we are talking about helical gears together with the helical gears. So able to reach very high ratio, which means very low speed concerning the application. Compared to the worm gearbox, this price is a little bit expensive in the market, so that's why also is another things to keep in the mind when they are choosing for the helical and helical gearbox. Of course, they are suitable for medium and heavy duty cycle for the application. So.
of course, different gearbox have advantages and disadvantages, and I think it's all depending on the application and the machinery. If we need high ratios, or sometimes we don't have a choice. But of course, as long as we can work with a worm gearbox, it's the most simplest, the easiest, and the most compact. And it's, as you said, it's modular, so we can have a different way of setting it up.
Yeah. Let me say the gearbox at the moment, they are not maintenance free. I mean, they need maintenance, but of course, if we are talking about worm or helical or bev helical, so they need to be periodical maintenance operation. So in order to keep the lifetime longer as much as possible. Let me say that concerning the worm type, they have with a very few maintenance operation long lifetime in terms of longevity, so and efficiency.
Now, let's say if we're going to select a gearbox, if we have an application, we are trying to select a gearbox, how do we select the right gearbox?
So we need to check many different criteria before to make the proper selection, because this is one of the main challenge in order to avoid any mistake on the market or in front of the customers when they are asking to select the gearbox for them. So let me say, first of all, the duty cycle is very important to consider when we have to choose or to make the right selection for the gearbox. Of course, the type of the application. We need to know the input power comes from 99% from the electrical motors. Service factor. The service factor is quite important because when you have the right selection, of course, you can suggest also the lifetime for the gearbox with a proper service factor and the efficiency. Last but not least, let me say also the environment, because it's another important criteria to be considered when we have to select the gearbox. Because if you are so with or the gearbox is installed together with the machine in a hot environment or in cold, so we can have different performance. We need to be consider some
environment factors.
When selected the gearbox.
Now you were saying something about the maintenance of a gearbox. Of course, if we think about a gearbox, the gearbox, a lot of people have in mind, I just install a gearbox and the gearbox would work and I don't need to look at this again.
Yeah.
Which I think is not very accurate, right? I think many good types of worm gearboxes are less maintenance requirement, sure.
Yeah.
But they are not maintenance free. At the end of the day, some kind of maintenance should happen. So if you give us some example of what do we have to have in mind when it's come to the maintenance, worm, helical, and other types, and what is the best way to maintain these gearboxes?
So let me say, yes, you are right. So far, the gearbox are not maintenance free. So we require and we suggest to keep a high level of efficiency of the gearbox and also the lifetime as agreed in the beginning when we are selected the gearbox, some maintenance operation. Let me say a couple of things about the maintenance operation. So first of all, the people thinking that anyone can carry out the maintenance operation of the gearbox. this is not, let me say, totally correct. I mean, we always suggest for sure to use our manual and use a maintenance manual together with the specialized people in order to guarantee the right, correct operation when they are making the maintenance jobs, activities. The second point that I would like to highlight is most of the company thinking that the maintenance operation is a cost. Is a cost because they need to stop the production, and so it's a lack of profit, no? Because they interrupted the production, because when you have the maintenance operation, you have to switch off the machines, the lines, and this means lose the production, no? But in my opinion, also in this case, what we would like to suggest is if you are scheduling the maintenance period operation, you can increase the production, and also you can increase the lifetime of the gearbox. So
I think, of course, it's a lot of I mean, we had previously a guest and we were discussing about he's a maintenance engineer, and always there is this challenge between carrying out the maintenance and keeping the production. And I think what he was saying is that it's all about planning, because at the end of the day you have to stop, and if you do the right time to stop at the right time of the year, at the right time of the day, and you do carry out the right maintenance, you can plan this, and this will not disrupt the production.
Exactly. This is right.
But if we leave it until it fails, then the problem is many more hours of repair. Then we go into repairing rather than into maintenance.
Exactly. Because if you are able to plan in advance, you know when you have to stop the production, even for a few times. But when you will get some problems or broken gearbox suddenly, and this was unexpected, of course, this can be a big problem for any production company. So,
sure.
Because it is unexpected, and you have to find the replacement quickly in order to avoid to have the line stopped for many hours. So,
of course,
better to schedule the maintenance operation in advance.
I think without planning the maintenance, we can end up losing a lots of more time. Maybe not hours. Sometimes can happen. You have to stop for days, because to find the right parts and to find the right engineers to do the maintenance.
Correct.
And we always want to avoid unplanned surprises.
Yes.
And this is why I think, of course, the gearbox is a product that is designed to last long. It's not a product that you have to maintain every day, or it is a long-lasting product. And this is why if you give us some suggestion or tips on how to maybe to have in mind, or to what to think about when how to increase the longevity of a gearbox, increase the efficiency, or keep the efficiency of a gearbox as for the life of that gearbox.
This is I agree with you, and probably you didn't mention about the cost of this kind of operation. I mean, when you have some problem unexpected, is more cost than the cost that you have to plan when you already scheduled your maintenance operation. Anyway, it's very simple. I mean, so that's why we suggest to plan for the maintenance. So first of all, it's always better to have a periodically check on the oil seals in the gearbox. After that, we suggest in case the lubricant is required, because in any gearbox internally we have lubricant, don't mix the existing one which is a synthetic oil, with any other mineral lubricant. Don't mix each other. So
it's a bad idea.
it's a very bad idea. And if you can see on the gearbox dust, accumulation about the dust, more than 5 millimeters, we suggest to clean the dust by vacuum cleaner, for example. And this is what we are also writing in our manual. So every 500 working hours or every month, oil seals visual check. Every 3,000 working hours or every 6 months, oil seal check and replacement is heavily worn. And every 5,000 working hours, try to replace the synthetic oil. Very simple.
This is what I want to. I mean, usually the first thing that gets impacted is the oil seal, and usually by just paying attention to the seals, you can get an idea about what's happening. Because if the seals start to worn out, then you start to have
leakaging oil problem will come,
and then
soon.
Contamination leak out, and then suddenly this can go short, and you're damaging your gearbox.
Exactly.
And this is why it's important. These are some, as you said, maybe some simple tips, but I think in many times in our hectic life, and the maintenance engineers are looking at so many machines, so many components, and so on, and sometimes they don't look at this aspect. But if we have, as you said, the regular check, maybe every 500 hours, to see if we need to replace any seals, and usually replacing a seal is not expensive. The seal itself is not so expensive.
Yes, exactly.
But after it's damaged, and then you have a leak, and you have dust and contamination this can end up to be an expensive repair.
Exactly.
And I think you said 5,000 hours to change the oil.
5,000. Yes.
Every 5,000.
This is what we
That's
are
the standard.
We are suggesting. So based on our experience, based on our technical engineer,
is there any specific lubrication that you as a manufacturer usually recommend in terms to the gearbox?
We have we use our Omala Shell oil VG320, which is standard for all the gearbox. Don't mind about the brand, because you can find locally about the brands. Different brands are suitable for. The important is synthetic oil VG320.
Yes, exactly. I think in many times, and I think sometimes when there is some kind of leak, people will pour in a little bit other types of available oil, and
you can mix any brand. The important is, as I said before, don't mix synthetic with mineral oil. This is a bad idea. Bad idea.
Yes, sure. So I think we have to keep the specification. The most important is to keep the specification of the oil.
Yeah. When the gearbox will be installed in the line, the application, it's along with the use and maintenance manuals, which there are a lot of information concerning the maintenance and also the spare parts. So, and as we discussed it, so it's very simple. I mean, there is no hard job to do during the maintenance operation. So mainly is the visual check, and so it's not required any expenses.
Sometimes we say it's simple but not easy.
Yeah, that's why also before I told you, and we spoke about not anyone can do the main or can carry out the maintenance operation, because instead to make benefit, he probably will make some problems or damage when replaced some part of the gearbox as required by the
and I think
manual.
We always recommend that you look at the manufacturer recommendation in terms of what types of seals, what types of oils, and after how many hours you have to do the lubrication change or any maintenance.
Yes.
Now, Italy have been the hub of many things: good food, good coffee, football, fashion.
Recently, we can discuss about the football because the
let's
European
forget
tournament was not a big success for Italy football team, but it's fine. It's okay. In the past, yes. Let me say.
Used to be.
Yes, used to be.
Except 2024 Euro Cup was not.
Yes, exactly. No, joking apart.
So
yes.
Italy, people say like Italian have everything. They have the fashion, they have the food, they have football, gelato, and coffee. But it happened also to be the hub for lots of gearbox manufacture.
Yeah.
Why Italy?
But generally speaking, I agree about what you say.
Which part?
No, I mean, except the football, we became famous because we have many different success in the food, in the wine, in the design, in the fashion, and also in the machineries. So, especially in the north of Italy, we have many machines. Yes, company which are producing many different kind of machines, from packaging to the ceramic field, packaging everything, food and beverage, and so on. So. But also there are several reasons why the Italy is known also for the gearbox quality products. Let me say, the design, the innovation, the knowledge, the technology, the quality of materials, also the passion and pride, and also because we have a traditional artisanal story behind us.
So is there any link? Because you drink maybe too much coffee, you have good machines or good cars?
No, there is no link. I mean, we have many industries which they are producing machines, and of course, as I told you before, the gearbox are involved in the industrial machines, and so
you agree that there are lots of very successful gearbox manufacturers in Italy?
Yeah.
Are you, when you look at this, is it an opportunity or is it a challenge?
Both.
Okay.
It's an opportunity because, of course, we can provide our goods to many different industries. And it's a challenge because day by day we need, together with our technical team, to improve and increase our products, our quality, our reliability, our efficiency against others.
So do you think the competition have helped to improve the quality?
A lot. Well, we are talking about European competition, let me say.
Yeah. I'm talking about, until now, talk about Italy.
Yes.
So this have pushed, as a manufacturer, pushed to evolve over the years.
Yeah. So the competition is it's normal, because in Italy we have many other different products which they have the same competition, and of course, as I told you before, make us in the position where every day we need to do better.
So if you look at the industry in the past 20 years, I mean, gearbox, how does the gearbox market or industry have evolved? And how do you see this will continue in the future?
So let me say they increase the efficiency and reliability, making new design, new technology, and investing also in concerning the company which are producing gearboxes, for example, investing in new CNC machines.
I mean, if we look at how the challenges, for example, is on the automotive market, the evolution, electrical cars, there is a lot of happening on that aspect. If we look at the online technology, AI, and all of this, everything is moving so fast.
Yeah.
And some people think that when it's come to gearbox, the world is still and the same. It's like the time does not move. Because when we come to talk about the worm gearboxes, the design have been very similar for the past 20, maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
Not much have changed. So do we see that there is a change coming? Is there any change that is impacting? Is there any surrounding environment that is will help or is making a challenge on this industry?
Generally speaking, let me say, I think, in my opinion, we will see the gearbox design more or less the same also for the next
another 50 years.
But in my opinion, we have one challenge. I mean, in terms of the gearbox, as we spoke before about the maintenance operation, is to develop and to get the gearbox with maintenance free.
Do you think this is possible?
It will take time, but I think it will be possible in the next future.
Do you see that this Internet of Things and AI will have any impact on this?
So I think so. I don't know so far how for example, AI can help us, but I think in some way we can get some benefit from this kind of new technology.
When I speak to customers, like
Yes.
end users and so on, and especially maintenance guys, they would say, we would love to see what's happening on cars to happens on machines, which is the car is today telling me, please change the oil. I get a message or a phone or, and they think it will be, for a maintenance engineer, it will make my day much easier than rather me calculating the number of hours and looking at this oil. And, if I would have a message saying, okay, you have to change the oil, maybe change the seal. Do you think that there's something that we will see in this direction?
Potentially, yes. But we need to find always the compromise between what the customer is looking for and what we can offer, because everywhere you are facing competition, and of course we need to try to be competitive on the market. Of course, this is possible, but we need to find also the right customer which are looking for this technology.
I think of course every additional component or additional sensors will have a price impact, but I think as we enter the generation where the young engineers used to work with an iPad and order online, and there will be more of that types of demand on this application. We want to be able to check my phone and maybe say, okay, you have to change the seals on the gearbox or something. Now, this maybe will not happen in 1 or 2 years, but I think
it
market
will be possible, for sure. It depends on the market situation, correct.
And I think it's also depend on how complex is that, because if you have a gearbox that is easy to have a visual inspection, and that is different if you have a gearbox sitting on a remote area where you cannot easily. So maybe some kind of a sensor or some kind of feedback that we get from the machine. And I think we are in this era of Internet of Things. We want everything to be connected, and maybe the future we want our gearboxes to be connected.
Why not? Why not? Yes.
But is this something you think can add a level of competitiveness? Because we always think about, when it's come to cost, it's how to make this very cost effective when it's come to a price. But on the other side, I think we are also looking for what we call ease, and we want things a bit easier, convenience. Today you order your food, you pay additional charges to get it delivered, but because it's more convenient, we are willing to pay for that.
Not easy to reply, to answer you, because it depends from many reasons. I think that every company which are requiring gearbox needs to put on the table every cost and check if can be helpful or not introducing new technology on the machine. So everything is possible. Of course, increasing also the technology in the gearbox, but it depends if the market needs this kind of technology. And to check if the market needs it only, for example, in our cases, our customer can check and know if can be a benefit or only a cost introducing new technology.
Of course, in the past.
Of course, we need to move forward and following what the trend in the global world is doing. For example, AI, no? But it depends also from the market situation if it's required or not.
Now, of course, when we know in the past 10 years, when it comes to gearboxes, efficiency have increased a lot compared. And if we look at 10, 20 years old gearboxes, maybe even the same technology, but in terms of efficiency, we have seen major improvement in the last few years. And there is efficiency today that we did not even dream of 20 years ago. And also when it comes to maintenance, I think new gearboxes are less maintenance requirement compared to the past 20 years. The technology of seals, the technology of lubrication, the technology of gears, all have evolved. Maybe we don't see it from outside, but inside in the components and the design, all have changed. So yes, it looks the same, but
that's why, concerning what you spoke before or asked me before about the new technology, I think, in my opinion, instead of introducing new technology for the gearbox, our big challenge is to have the gearbox with maintenance free.
This would then we're going back to reach the convenience. Instead of telling me when to do maintenance, this is a maintenance free. This is even a step forward.
Yeah.
And I think if we reach there, we are even beyond that step. Now, Varvel is a well-known gearbox manufacturer. How do you make sure that every gearbox is of a high quality and is a reliable product?
Yes, Varvel is quite well known in the market, and we are getting the success thanks to our service and reliability products, together with the high quality level. The question is how. The answer is we have our internal supply chain, where we are making and producing our key components, and so thanks to the internal supply chain, we can keep under control all the production and the processing from A to Z, and together with our quality department, we can check the result and make our gearbox reliable and efficient for the markets.
Now, looking at a common gearbox, maybe what is the expected lifetime of a gearbox?
It's different from the gearbox brand. Let me say, from our gearboxes, we can have 15,000 working hours.
15,000.
Yes. All of the gearbox are calculated and developed for the gears mainly for 15,000 working hours. Yes.
That's a good number of hours.
Yeah.
Do you think now, if we look at the competition, I'm talking about the lower competition.
You are talking about the lower competition?
No, so if we compare the lower competition
yeah.
to you, 15,000 hours is a lot, right? If you compare to a low-cost gearbox, because people always look at the price, they don't look at the outcome of that gearbox. So what do you think is the number of hours for a cheaper or a low-cost gearbox in terms of working hours?
We are happy with our gearbox and with our quality. The customer feedback is positive. Honestly, I don't like to speak with other lower competitors, but of course existing in any market and is a part of our competition and competitors in any market. Anyway, if you are looking only about the price, of course you will get the gearbox maybe with less working hours than ours in terms of lifetime. And what does it mean? It does mean that probably in the machine something will happen soon compared us, compared our products. You have to put on the table if you would like to get saving cost in the beginning, but you will pay more after, or you would like to pay a little bit more in the beginning
and save,
but yes, save the money. This is the question that any customer need to do. I mean, we believe in our quality, and so with the correct maintenance operation, so our customer can save a lot of money, especially when we are talking about the export material. I mean, because we are now thinking about our country, but when these machine manufacturers are exporting their machine in other countries, you have to consider that cost, because to ship by air freight, to replace some units unexpected due to the low quality and low lifetime in terms of working hours is quite expensive.
You will not be saving so much.
Exactly.
So can you share with us any success stories that you think Varvel was able to achieve? Like, give us an example how by maybe a customer is using some Varvel gearbox was able to improve their performance?
Yes. So considering everything said so far, let me also introduce a different part of the service that Varvel can offer to the customer, which probably some customer doesn't know about that. I'm very happy to tell you this case history where we won one of the big customer and project thanks our flexibility and technology in the field of the packaging machines, where Varvel was able to listen the customer needs and designing and producing a completely customized gearbox.
Okay.
Totally out of our product range in for the gears and the design, and also for the protection requirement requested by the customer. So
and how did this make the customer life easier?
Sure, happy, easier, and satisfied with our quality, with our design, and with our technology and reliability.
So you are able to make a custom solution for a specific customer?
Correct. This is one of the service that probably not many customer knows from Varvel, but yes, we can tailor-made the gearbox based on the customer needs.
So you have been working for Varvel, what, maybe about 10 years now?
Yes, beginning of next year, 10 years, yes.
So
long story.
9.5 now.
Yes, correct.
So
9.5.
what makes Varvel different from the competition?
First of all, I would like to highlight that our production is very made in Italy.
Okay. Very made in Italy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because there is made in Italy and very made in Italy.
Exactly. It's a very thin point, but yes, I don't like to speak about others.
Yeah.
Let me just say that it's very made in Italy. As I told you before, we have our internal production, internal checks, internal processing step, which we are able to keep monitored and controlled all the steps, our quality control. So, yeah, this is a plus for us. For us. So very made in Italy is synonymous of quality, excellence, reliability, innovation. And so in addition to that, all of our gearbox are modular. Modular for the customers, the customer which are producing the machines. These allow the flexibility in the final selection and fast delivery. Concerning the other customer, our distributors around the world, this modular gearbox can save space in the warehouse, reducing the quantity, the number and the quantity stocking in the warehouse, and consequently also the cost. Less numbers, less space, less cost in investment.
Okay, so for our audience that doesn't know what you mean by modular, can you explain the modular?
Yes, so the modular system can be in a double option. The first option is all of our gearbox in the front side, let me say in the electrical motor side, are modular, because in the middle from the gearbox and the electrical motors we have a components, one of the important components of our production. The name is a coupling, and normally what's happened when the customer needs to change the motor power, normally need to change also the gearbox. In our case, is not like that, because we can keep the same gearbox but changing only the coupling in the middle and the motor flange, of course, if changed. At the same time, looking for the maintenance operation, coming back to the maintenance operation, which is also, this point is very important. This is another important aspect. Thanks. Because normally the other competitors, they have the direct connection from the motor shaft to the gearbox.
In a normal case.
Yes. And after the working hours or during the duty cycles, what's happened? It can happen the vibration. It can happen the eating problems, issues. And after many working hours, what's happened? If something will happen in the motors or in the gearbox, it's always difficult to disassemble the motor shaft from the gearbox side. And what's happened? Happened then the customers is forced to buy the both components.
Yes, the electrical motor and the gearbox.
And the gearbox together, which means more cost, more price, expensive.
Much more.
With our system, since we have the coupling in the middle together with elastic spiders, this will not happen. I mean, every time you always can disassemble, if something will happen, these components each other and just to replace what you need to replace. Exactly. This is the first option. The second option about the modular system, all of our gearbox can be provided in kit form and can be assembled in the customer warehouse based on the customer needs. So these are the two aspects about the modular system from Varvel.
For me, I would say it's the Lego of gearbox. So you can put the different components and build your own in and output. Because at the end of the day, I think that what I like about this concept, it's easy. It's all your products are compatible to each other. So you can. It's like building a Lego of. And then you build depending on the input and the output and what do you have there and what you have. And if you want to change the electrical motor, maybe you still can keep the gearbox. If you have to change any application, sometimes you can save the electrical motor and just change the front component or the coupling maybe.
Correct. So as I told you also before, this allows us to reduce the number of the components and using modular motor flange, which can be used for worm, for helical, for bevelical type of gearbox, since are the same. This helps us and our customers. The modular system mainly from the distributor point of view, because so we are present in more than 60 countries around the world, and so need to give to the local customer good service, and thanks to the modular system they can, our local distributor can provide the proper solution in the fast delivery, assembling by themselves our gearbox based on the final configuration selected by the customer.
This makes both the distributor job easier and also the end user job.
Yes.
And help us to reduce the delivery time, as we can put together 2 or 3 components and make the similar expected output of. Now, we talked about the different types of gearboxes and,
Yes.
So looking back at Varvel, so can you tell us about the range today that you have in Varvel?
Yeah.
So at least if any of our audience or customer wants to order the gearbox, so at least they know what is available.
Yes. So we are following what they are the main common types in the world, as I told you before. We can cover and we are able to produce worm gearboxes, helical gearboxes in line or coaxial type and parallel shaft, bevelical gearbox, and the planetary gearbox. Of course, these are the type that we are able to produce in terms of gear, but we have also our range and our nominal output torque and sizes. So we have double type of sizes, one small and medium made by aluminum body, and big size made by cast iron body.
Nice.
And all of them are available in our production.
Plus, you can produce customized solution as well.
Exactly. This is not in our product range, but in our type of service, let me say.
So if a customer is looking for a special type of gearbox, we are here to help.
Yes.
Now, as I said, now maybe many of our audience is maybe thinking about changing their gearbox or buying a gearbox. Any final advice you can give them?
If you would like to choose for the best quality and good compromise in terms of price and availability, please try to choose Varvel, which is the right choice for your machines. And you are buying very made in Italy.
Like that.
Yeah.
Cristian, was a pleasure having you.
Thanks again for your invitation.
Our audience and our listeners are now more educated about the gearbox.
Yeah.
We are happy to have you here. Thank you very much. And our audience, if you have any suggestion, email us at podcast@mcb.ae. Until next time, see you soon. And that wraps another episode of Wiki Bearings. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the fascinating realm of the engineering innovation. Until next time, keep spinning towards greatness.